Hi everyone, welcome back to Business Tech Weekly with me, Matt Satonga.
And me, Tim Swainson.
This week we're talking cybersecurity. Now Tim, I wanted to talk to you about the WannaCry attack on the NHS.
Yeah.
Cast your mind way back to sometime around May, I think it was, last year, sometime like that. It's quite a while ago now.
Yeah.
If you'll remember, it was quite a significant attack.
It
brought down a lot of machines inside the NHS. Well, they've just actually released the figures in terms of what that attack actually cost.
Right.
And it's an estimated £92 million of yours and mine and your money.
Wow. What, that people paid for the ransom, or?
I think the cost in general, that's including, the time lost and everything else, and and all that kind of everything,
the
recovery of, etc.
Wow.
And the thing is, this could so have been prevented so easily. It was just down to outdated computers and unpatched machines.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous that would cost £100 million. Imagine what the NHS can do with £100 million.
Yeah.
Rather than having to spend it as a result of a cyber attack.
It is such a shame, though, where that money could be better placed.
Yeah, and it probably would have only cost them, say, £1 to £5 million to actually implement the security that stopped the problem in the first place.
Yeah, yeah.
Apparently, it affected 8% of GP clinics across the whole of the UK.
Yeah.
So that just goes to show that nearly 10% of all GP clinics were underprepared for a cyber attack.
Yeah.
And forced the cancellation of 19,000 appointments.
Yeah.
That's just how much disruption it actually
created. That's where it got personal, didn't it?
Exactly. 73 million of the total was IT costs racked up in the aftermath.
Okay.
And that's restoring systems, restoring data, the cost to bring consultants in, replace machines, update operating systems, that kind of thing. And the NHS had to upgrade all its systems to Windows 10, as of course it was unpatched Windows 7 and Windows XP that was to blame.
Yeah.
NHS has spent £60 million bolstering defences, though, and apparently a pledge to spend another £150 million in the next 3 years. So they are taking it seriously. Yeah. But the thing is, a lot of money for a cash.
They're struggling.
The NHS. They're closing hospitals. They're closing valuable life-saving departments.
Yeah.
Our local hospital actually was closed, and now we have to go to a hospital, sort of a bit further away.
Yeah.
And when you're thinking £100 million, that could have kept that hospital running for I don't know how long.
For something that with ransomware effects now, we've got so many ways in which these can be protected against.
Absolutely.
The industry has hopefully caught up with that, and we can help you with those requirements if you need to talk to them.
The question is why do people always learn the lesson after it happens?
Yeah.
Make sure you've got some great cybersecurity.
Yeah.
Keep it tested.
Educate the users as well.
Absolutely.
So they know what to do.
Some interesting news this week, Tim.
Yeah.
The NCSC has reported to the government and publicly that the UK will be absolutely hit by what they're calling a life-threatening cyber attack at some point in the future.
Okay. Well, that's a concern, but these are the guys that know this sort of information, isn't it?
Well, yeah, and I think it's almost obvious, really, that something is going to happen. People are attacking nuclear facilities all the time, electricity generation. And when you talk about life-threatening, that doesn't necessarily mean directly life-threatening. Life-threatening if the power grid goes down, obviously there's a threat to life there, hospitals, all that kind of thing.
Yeah, it was for WannaCry, didn't we?
Yeah, exactly. So, and what they're saying is specialists, probably government-controlled cyber units, are creating quite significant hacks, about 10 times a week.
Yeah, they've reported quite a lot, haven't they, of how they're finding these things, which we've known have been around for a long time, but now they're able to find these. Over 1,000, nearly 1,200 incidents that they've reported that they've dealt with, that they've been able to protect us against.
Yeah, so I mean, basically what they're saying is this stuff is happening now every day. And I assume the reason why they've released that information is not to scare the public, but to educate the government so that they understand just how important it is to ensure the funding continues and to make sure that they're putting the appropriate budget into protecting our borders, not just through the army and the RAF and that kind of thing, but the NCSC is as important now in our defences as a country, as a nation, as those
through the cyber attacks,
as the Army and the RAF are. Basically, it's our kind of extra armed force, really. Unfortunately, in this day that we live in.
Yeah, extra line of defence.
It is
scary sort of numbers, but something that's going to be there to protect us and help us raise ourselves as a business awareness around where these threats are likely to come from, and make sure everyone's doing their bit to protect themselves.
Yeah, and I think that's the message here, that if you do see things that are happening to you, or sort of emails that it's always just report that kind of stuff to Action Fraud, so that the authorities that are working and checking all this stuff can get as much information as they possibly can.
Thanks again for tuning in and taking a look at the video that we've put together this week. Please share your thoughts, share the video. We'd love to hear from you. If there's any subjects you'd like us to discuss, it'd be great to see what you think.
Thanks for watching.